If you're like me and you're on the autism spectrum, you might feel like an alien visiting a strange world. Except you live in this world. People around you speak in ways that don't make sense, societal rules seem odd, and social norms can be confusing. Communicating and understanding the world can be a struggle. It's a struggle for me, and if you're watching this, it's probably a struggle for you too. But here's the twist. Communicating with other spectrumites, that's the word I use for people on the autism spectrum on this podcast if you are tuning in for the first time, isn't necessarily easier. There's a difference between understanding someone else on the autism spectrum and truly connecting with them. We might relate to their situation better, empathize with their frustrations, hyperfixations, habits, and stubbornness. Yet we can still clash, get frustrated, and hurt each other. So, what do we do about it? The first thing we do is recognize the uniqueness of each person on the spectrum. Some of the things we tell others about ourselves are things we need to process too. I've met quite a few people on the spectrum, each different. There were similarities that connected them to the same spectrum, but they were all unique. We need to understand our uniqueness to improve communication with each other. The second thing we do is ask each other questions. This can be tough because asking questions about how to best communicate requires considering the other person's feelings. As I've mentioned in previous episodes, that doesn't always come naturally to us. It can feel like playing a mini-quest in a video game where you need to find the key to unlock the door, but it's worth it. Ask questions like, do you prefer text or face-to-face communication? Or, how do you feel about eye contact? Does the person do better with direct communication, or can they understand nonverbal cues? Number 3 to consider is create a welcoming environment. I like Texas Roadhouse, but tragically my wife does not, mainly because of the noise. The dancing and the cranked up music can be a bit much, even for me. Creating a comfortable environment shows the other person you care. Are they sensitive to bright lights or loud noises? Choose a quieter, less crowded place. Texas Roadhouse isn't ideal because of the loud music and dancing. It can be an auditory overload. If you can handle it, please, go right ahead. Have some of those amazing rolls without me. Finally, number 4, be open and honest about your needs and listen to the other person's needs too. Be upfront about what makes you uncomfortable and what helps you feel at ease. In other words, set clear boundaries. When my wife and I were dating, she was open about her boundaries, which helped establish trust. Patience is key, especially if mistakes are made. Be flexible and willing to adapt your communication style when another one isn't working. My wife and I are still figuring out how to communicate after 4.5 years, and I'm sure we're going to still be learning how for years and years to come. Sometimes our words come off as harsh, but we always try again, and you should too. Thank you so much for watching or listening, whichever one you're doing. Be sure to hit like if you're on YouTube and subscribe to the channel. You can also subscribe to my Substack at thepancakeking.substack.com to receive updates on new posts and podcast episodes every week. See you next week.